Good evening. This is All Sports with LD coming back at you with another YouTube post from my YouTube channel. Before I get into tonight's content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Well, there's been rumors that the Lakers and the Nets are discussing a trade for point guard Kyrie Irving for point guard Russell Westbrook. So it's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. I'll play from NBA Game Time, and then I'll comment later. Comment after the fact of what I think of all of this. Let me start by saying it's fair use. All right, so let's get started.
To Westbrook. Meanwhile, we're still on hold waiting for a trade for Kevin Durant, the two-time Finals MVP. Broke his silence today via Twitter. It's the first time we've heard from him since he reportedly requested a trade from the Nets. This is what KD had to say, quote, "The ones who were locked in that gym with me know what it is. They know what I'm about. If you haven't been in there with me, ask around." Well, could the Nets provide the fireworks this July 4th weekend? Welcome to Free Agent Fever. Chris Miles here with GA and former GM Ryan McDonough. So, Ryan, let's start off with the Nets, right? Logistically, how does this trade work for Westbrook and Kyrie? And which team is in the driver's seat right now trying to make this happen?
It doesn't work player for player, Chris, so there need to be more pieces involved. The Brooklyn Nets will send out some more salary in the deal. So it seems like one of the sticking points, according to our Chris Haynes, is the inclusion from Brooklyn of Joe Harris or Seth Curry. It seems like the Lakers would prefer to get Seth Curry back. He's on an expiring contract. Joe Harris, who's coming off ankle surgery, has 2 years left on his deal. So that is the dance. And you see some of the options there. In addition to Russell Westbrook, the Nets could receive Talen Horton-Tucker or Kendrick Nunn. That works, as well as draft picks, swaps, things like that. So these teams will go back and forth. GA, we were talking about this before the show. It seems like outside of the Lakers and Nets, there's probably a limited market for Westbrook and Kyrie. So I'll be interested to see if these two teams are able to work out a deal.
Yeah. So, GA, in kind of what he's saying there, it seems like if a deal is done, it's going to be between these two teams. So who is getting the better end of the deal as it's presented?
Well, I think the Lakers have to feel good about getting Kyrie, and it's not necessarily just because of the talent, but fit-wise, because Kyrie's ability to shoot the basketball, that's the one area of concern, the big area of concern from an offensive standpoint for the Lakers from last season. They just didn't have a team that shot the ball well, and he gives you not only the shot making, but he's a guy that can space the floor, he can spread the floor. So I think that helps. And then if you do end up with Joe Harris, again, another guy that can shoot. So I think that's good for them. But
Fair use. So you've heard what they had to say about the possible trade between the Lakers and Nets for Kyrie or Westbrook. And here's my thoughts on it. And let me say on the record, straight off the bat, I think Kyrie is a phenomenal player. He is one of the best point guards in the game today. I love his game. In my opinion, there's no weaknesses in his game. I mean, he can shoot the ball. He can distribute the ball. I mean, he can do it all. I mean, this guy, like I said, is a fundamental. He's fundamentally sound, and he's a phenomenal ball player. With that being said, I don't trust the character of Kyrie Irving, and let me explain why. So let's first go back to when he was in Cleveland. Now, keep in mind, pre and post LeBron James, Kyrie can't get a team to championships and win it. That's just first off. Remind my audience of that. But more importantly, how things transpired in Cleveland. So Let me go ahead and go to that. So in this article by David Wysong, he's speaking of the breakup of why, or essentially why Kyrie left LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let me scroll down to you and read to you exactly what Kyrie said. He says, "I'm not here to go at any particular person or the organization because I have nothing but love for Cleveland," Irvin said. "It comes a time when you mature as an individual. It's time to make that decision. There is no looking back from that standpoint. There is no time to figure out how to save someone's feelings, when ultimately you have to be selfish in figuring out what you want to do. I want to be extremely, extremely happy in perfecting my craft. And that was the only intent that I have in all of this." So let's just deal with that. While Kyrie and LeBron were teammates, they went to 3 straight NBA championships. They won 1 of 3. Now, before LeBron returned to Cleveland, Kyrie couldn't get them there. As a matter of fact, I don't believe, I would have to check my records, but I don't believe they even made it to the playoffs. The team was a mess. But they pair you up with LeBron and you go to 3 straight NBA finals. And the first thing that sticks out to me is that you have to be selfish. And for me, what does that really mean? What is he really saying? This shows to me a really narcissistic individual, because he wasn't happy that they went to 3 straight NBA finals. No, he wasn't happy about that. He wasn't happy to the fact that LeBron James got all the press. He'd rather it to be him. You win a championship 1 out of 3 seasons, and you're upset because you didn't get all of the press? So forget the fact that you won a championship. It was because the media said it was because of LeBron. So you're unhappy about you forced a trade. Right? And he says that would make him basically, I want to be extremely, extremely happy. So forcing a trade because the press or the media was giving credit to LeBron for winning that championship. They didn't give any credit to you, although you were on that championship team and you contributed majorly to that team. You decided that because you weren't getting all the accolades, you needed to be selfish and say, I want to be happy. In other words, I wasn't happy about winning the championship with LeBron. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to force a trade and I'm going to show everybody I can do better without LeBron. So Kyrie ends up forcing a trade from Cleveland to the Boston Celtics. Now, this is an article on CBS News Boston by Michael Hurley. So let me go down to the specific part in the article. And I think you guys will find this very interesting. Okay. Essentially, the entire saga of Kyrie in the city of Boston hinges on this moment. Before the 2018-19 season at a season ticket holder event at TD Garden, Irvin made a proclamation to the fans in attendance. Even though the wacky NBA rules prevented the Celtics from signing Irvin until after the season, the superstar grabbed a microphone and stated that he fully intended to be in Boston for the long term. "If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here," he said. Irvin took things a step further in his dedication to the Celtics by making a whole commercial about how he wanted his number 11 to hang in the rafters forever in Boston. Just 26 years old at the time, Irving let it be known that he was going to be a foundational player for the Celtics' future. February 2019, the meeting. After making those promises, the 2018-19 season didn't go as Irving planned. He didn't love being the veteran leader to the point where he had to call Bron. When asked in early February if he still intended to stay with the Celtics beyond the season, he told reporters, "I don't owe anybody," you know the words, and asked me July 1st. That set the stage for a hallway interaction with Kevin Durant at the All-Star game. Irving appeared to be selling Durant on Brooklyn, which had 2 max slots to sign 2 max players. Irving was then asked about that moment, and he wagged his finger at the media. "What I do with my life is my business, so it's none of yours. It's none of anybody. It's not anybody's business," Irving said in his scolding tone. "It's a video of me and one of my best friends talking, and then it turns out to be a dissection of a free agency meeting. Do you get that? Do you get that? And then I'm asked questions about that. That's what disconnects me from all this." Irving added, it's just crazy. "This is the stuff that just doesn't make the league fun. Nobody helps promote the league even more by doing bulls like that. Of just fictitious putting things on what we're talking about. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I guess that's what you wanted, huh?" Despite Irving's protest, Durant later confirmed that the meeting at the All-Star game was exactly what it looked like. So here you have him change his mind because the season didn't go well, and he was a problem in the locker room. He didn't get along with his teammates in Boston. He didn't like being the veteran leader of that ball club. So he turns about face to what he said, what he promised the Boston Celtics fans, then tries to tell the media, "You're making all this up." Bold-faced lying to the media, and Kevin Durant comes out and confirms exactly what the meeting was. And then, of course, you know what happened then with the New York Nets. They're taking off of time, not telling the coaching staff. Then there was the whole COVID thing. And I bring all of this up to say this. This is why I don't trust the character of the man. I'm a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan all my life. And like I said, the man is a phenomenal ball player. Bar none. Probably the best point guard in the game today. But I don't trust this man's character. And I get it. The Lakers want to win now. With LeBron going into I think it's his 20th season. But I have a lot of misgivings about this. Honestly, I don't trust that he can actually really change. I really don't. So this is just my perspective. Till next time, have a good one.